Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program version 0.23 with me, Bradham73. That kind of rhymes, and little Jebediah here was laughing along with me. Let's see, start game. I think in the last episode we were kind of just flying around Kerbin and getting science and stuff like that. And I think in this episode I'm going to do a, let's see, Bradham73, that's me. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of give people a tutorial about how to get into a stable orbit. And while I do that, I just want to see, because it said I had 2 flights in progress, but I think they're just flags. Yeah, come on now. Oh, there we go. Oh, those are the Badlands flags. And I also want to look and see what science I have and what science I want to get. Let's see here. I do want to get the thermometer. Ooh, I need the solar panels. That I definitely want. That's probably going to be one of the next things. Don't need that yet. Ooh, or the fuel system, because it's got these fuel ducts. And those will allow you to do things like asparagus staging, which is really important for getting into higher orbits. All right, so basically what we want to do right now, though, is we just want to get into orbit. So we're going to start off with a capsule. And we will put a parachute on. And where's my decoupler? Oh. And a decoupler. And we want to do some science as well, so I'm going to put a couple of these guys on. And I'm going to put a couple of the goo canisters. The mystery goo. And I think it's just the comms. We don't want the comms yet. And let's see here. Is there anything else I need? Not so much yet. Okay. So what I will do is I will put that tank there, put a small engine on there, keeping it nice and simple. And then we'll put another decoupler on here. This will be kind of our orbital stage. Should get us the final way to orbit if we don't make it there on our primary stage. Next will be, let's see here, I think I need to do 3, 4 of those, and then I'm going to do the there's 2 engines. There's the LVT-30 and then the LVT-45. Now the LVT-45, if you look, it has less maximum thrust. I think it's 200 meters per second, where the T-30 has 215, but the T-45 will actually gimbal and it can steer you. So that's actually, something that's very nice to have. Another thing that we're going to need for this rocket is some stabilization fins, so that we can do some steering. Let's see, wait a second. 2.5. Okay, so these are less massive. Okay, that's good. Last but not least, we want to put some solid rocket boosters. I think I can just use these. Whoop. Yeah. And we're just going to use these for the lower atmosphere, I think. Where are they? Okay, there we go. And if we also want to, we can put on some Separatrons. These things are kind of cool because they Oh, no, no, I don't want them to go that way. I want them to go, no, like that. Yeah, you want them to thrust away from your rocket. So anyway, actually, wait, let me put that over there. Before I even do that, I do want some aerodynamic nose cones, so my rocket looks like a pair of boobs with blue nipples, which everybody knows is always interesting. And, well, what the heck? Get on there properly. There we go. Is that on there right? Okay. And we're just gonna put the Separatrons on. That way they're gonna fire, and hopefully they'll eject the solid rocket boosters in a nicely spectacular fashion. Another thing we can do with these SRBs, if you right-click on them, you can actually limit their thrust. And because these thrust so much, especially in the lower atmosphere, and our rocket doesn't have a whole lot of mass, I want to bring the thrust down, maybe about, I don't know, let's try 65%. If that doesn't work, we can always come back and try it again. And we can get a one of these little launch helpers. Now, one thing you want to do is I want to put these Separatrons, which if I look at group 7 down here at the bottom right, I can see my Separatrons. I don't know why they group them like 3 and then 4. But that's essentially what happens. Let's see. I want to put those in the same group as my stack, or my, the jettison for the solid rocket boosters. So I'm going to move the Separatrons up there, and then I've got the 4 solid rocket boosters here. You can see them highlighting as I click back and forth. I want to put my my stability enhancer, or my pseudo launch tower. I actually want to put those in the same group, because otherwise, if you detach the towers first, your rocket's going to fall down and crash, and obviously bad things are going to happen. The last thing I want to do is I want to move this rocket down into the launch group as well. So let's see. Since this is going to be the rocket for orbit, we're going to say Orbiter 1. And then we'll save our rocket there. Alright, so let's go and try and test this guy out. And hopefully I won't completely fail. I probably will, but no, actually I probably won't. I'm getting pretty good at this game. Alright, so here we've got our rocket, and it's wobbling around like a big... Oh, never mind. Alright, we're going to hit the T key to turn our SAS, that's our stability enhancer. And here we go. So 3, 2, 1, and launch. Oh, I need to throttle up a little bit, but I hit the wrong key anyway. Let's see. I'm going to throttle up. That's a little bit over 50%, I think. All right, 3, 2, 1, and launch. All right, there we go. We are currently passing 120 meters per second. Solid rocket fuel is burning off. And burning off a little bit more quickly than I was hoping. Okay, so we're going to pass we just passed 200 meters per second. We're up to almost 5,000 meters. We probably should throttle up to full throttle now. And here goes our solid. There go our solid rockets there. Now, since we're up to about 10,000 meters, we're going to start pitching over towards 45 degrees. So I'm just going to go ahead and kick this guy right over. And kind of hold the key down to get him over there. Okay. Then I'm going to hit T again to turn the SAS on. Now, right now, if we hit M to go to the map mode, what we want to do is we want to get our apoapsis, which is the furthest point away from our orbit. We want to get that, obviously up higher, but we want to get that time up to about a minute. And as we as we increase in altitude, we actually want to follow this this yellow indicator on our nav ball. That's actually what is called our prograde vector, which is the vector that the rocket is going to fly along this path. So now we're up to 33 seconds, and so I want to kind of hold this out actually for a little while until it gets to about 1 minute. Maybe around 50 seconds I can start tilting over a little bit more towards my prograde vector. So 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm going to turn my SAS off, and I'm going to tilt. I'm going to tilt the rocket. I want to stay right along this 90-degree line. That's going to, put me roughly in a equatorial orbit around the planet Kerbal. And you can see our fuel is starting to burn off here. There we have a minute. And we can continue to just tilt over. And our apoapse is up to 66,000 feet. And we're going to burn out of fuel here in our main stage, just like that. And we're going to kick in our small stage here. Now with this, we're going to gain altitude a lot faster. So I'm going to take our apoapse up to about 90,000 meters. Now once you get to the point where your apoapse is 2 minutes or more, that's actually a good thing. So as soon as we get up to 90,000, I'm going to hit the X button. That's going to cut off all the thrust. And so now we're in space, and we can check to see what our different science experiments are going to do. The rarefied air has caused interesting changes to gel samples. It seems like something is happening with the interior structure. We get 17 science for that, so we'll keep that data. See what our mystery goo says. Only 0.4 data, so I'm going to reset that for right now. We'll do a crew report. There's no new science to get from here. And if we wanted to, we could even do an EVA, but we're going to wait until we get into orbit. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to set up a maneuver node along my apoapses. And what that's going to do, it's going to help me get into orbit. Now we have all these different little indicators here, it's kind of a 3D, you can actually change your orbit left or right or up or down or, forward and backward. Not really forward and backward, but increasing your orbit or decreasing the orbit. So I want to go to my prograde vector here, and I just want to drag it out. Now you want to be really careful. You don't want to drag it too fast, because then you could actually go out and go, oh my gosh, and make it way too big. Now we don't want to go way out here because we don't want to burn all that fuel, but we want to kind of actually, as you go out, you kind of see how the apoapse and the periapse is the, oh gosh, this orbit would be about perfect. The periapse is your lowest orbit, your lowest distance from whatever you're orbiting. The apoapse is your highest distance. So we can see right there, we're like right at 90,000. So that's actually a very good circular orbit. We have a 41-second burn. We've already gone past that, so we need to start burning. We need to get aligned here with our little blue aiming icon. Whoops. And then we'll just go ahead and start burning there. We can even switch to the cabin view, take our SAS off to kind of fine-tune our orbital. Actually, I can even hit the caps lock button to get even finer control. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Whoops, there we go. Get back to orbit. And hopefully, whoop, let me get this out. All right, here we go. We are coming up on orbit. And holding my X key here and cut off. Now, I'm going to just kind of use the shift key to just increase my thrust just a little bit. I'm going to check this out. I want to make sure that the periapse gets up to about 90,000, and it's going to about now. So 94. So we're not perfectly circularized, but by golly, that looks like a circle to me. So that's it. That's all you need to know to get into an orbit. From here, now that we're in a nice stable orbit, we can actually kind of aim straight up and away from the planet like we are right here. We can have Jebediah do an EVA if we want. I always hate when they switch camera views there. We can do a EVA report, which, oh, you know what? I think when we shot up into the atmosphere or outer atmosphere before, I think we've already done all the science that we can do, and I'm not even sure if we even let go. Oh my gosh, we hit R, turn our little jetpack on here. I'm not even sure if we are going to be able. Yep, we've already done all the science up here. All right, so, but what we can do is we can pick up the science that's down here in our Science Junior. And I'm just going to float up to it, right-clicking, and collect the science and remove that data. That's fine. Now we'll just kind of come back up and hit F to grab back onto our capsule, and then we'll hit F again to board. So now we're back inside of our rocket. All right. Let's see, how much fuel did? Oh, we've got quite a bit of fuel. Now what we can do, let's see, since we're right here, let me see how much delta V we're going to need to get us up to, I don't know, 300,000 feet. Oh, we don't need that much. 300, about 200. No, we don't even need that much. 150. Okay, that would be pretty good. So when we get around to this side of Kerbin, the dark side of Kerbin, we're going to start thrusting out to get up above 300,000 meters. And I don't think we can. Let's see. Yeah, we're just in space near Kerbin. I think we need to get the in space far from Kerbin science. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what we need to get. So I'm going to align this up again, and I'm going to accelerate time using the comma and period keys, or comma and full stop for people that call it a full stop and not a period. We're going to pay attention here down at the bottom. We want to make sure we get down to about 11 seconds. Well, probably about 30 seconds or so. That way we'll have enough time to do some final adjustments here. I'm going to hit the T key and just align myself with that little blue dot. You can kind of see the V of the green horizon indicator there. And as soon as it's lined up, I hit T, and that's pretty darn close right there. And that's about where I want to be. And go ahead and start thrusting up. Since we're going to be at the node in 2 seconds, we're going to have to thrust a little bit past that, but that's all right. We're going to have plenty of fuel for this. And we'll cut that off. And pretty darn close. We can even thrust up just a little bit. 19,000. All right, so that's exactly where we wanted to be. I'm actually making this look really easy. This is like 1,000 times harder than than it actually is. No, it's not. It's not too bad. And hopefully, if you guys are playing Kerbal Space Program, hopefully you guys are learning something. Because this is a very difficult game to learn. It's even a harder game to master, and even going to other planets is incredibly difficult. But it really kind of, in many ways, gives you a sense of what the people at NASA and other space agencies around the world are trying to do, and how hard that work is. So yeah. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's get out of map view, and we're up above 300,000 feetsies, So I'm just going to observe the mystery goose, see if there's any new science. So there's like half a science there, nothing really much. I think we've already come up here and done all the science. Up there, we can get 5.5 science there. Can we do a crew report? Nope. I'm going to just kind of kick out and do an EVA really quick. Can I do an EVA report? Nope. I guess we have gotten all of this science. Man, I'm ahead of myself. So that's a orbit. That's how you get into orbit. Now we're in a slightly elliptical orbit. We actually have quite a lot of fuel, but I really there's not a whole lot for us to do. Let's see here. I wonder if we got the desert biome. What I can actually do is come around. Let's go ahead and accelerate time since Jebediah is having fun doing it. There's the space station or space complex down there. Since Jebediah is having such a fun time, we're going to come around to the other side of the planet here. I'm going to see if we can get into a shallower orbit. Like that, yes. Turn my SAS off. Nope, turn it off. Ah, I'm sped up. Turn it off. Turn it off. I love this game. I really do. Sometimes I go to bed at night and I'm like, I really want to play Kerbal because it's just such a fascinating science. I mean, if you're a science geek, you'd love this game. And again, it's not an easy game, but it's absolutely an amazing game. All right, so we're going to slow down. I'm going to try to bring us down in this desert area here. I think we might have already been there, but I cannot remember. Okay, that might actually be pretty good right there. So we're going to speed up here, speed up some time. If I can speed up time. Oh no, I sing that song in Farming Sim too, don't I? Any game that I can speed up and slow down time is going to get the share treatment. Oh my gosh. It's so wrong. It's so wrong in so many ways. Okay, I'm going to turn that back on. All right. Oh, I want to go back in here. Oh, I forgot. I need to EVA because let's see, turn on your rocket pack. And I need to do camera free. Fast forward. No, down, down, in, up. Oh crap, this is not going to end well. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Why am I failing at this so hard? Move forward. Down. Come on, come on. Collect data. Yes, remove data. Collect data. Yes, remove data. Okay. Phew. Grab and enter. Oh my gosh. I didn't want to get too low. I'm like getting down to 60,000 feet. Once we get down to, into the 50s, like 55,000 feet or so, or meters, you start encountering wind resistance, and then really super bad things happen. Like, little Jebediah, because he is so light, he begins to separate from his spacecraft. All right, so the periaps is slowly dropping. We're probably starting to come into the atmosphere a little bit. No. Slow down. There we go. So what I want to do, ooh, look at the mountains down there. See how pretty of a game this is? And it's getting better. Like every new update and iteration, it just gets better and better. Okay. We can switch our camera view by hitting the V key to get a slightly different perspective here. Let's see, I want to go into my map view again. periaps is still dropping, which is good. I just want to make sure that we're going to get down into this kind of deserty zone here. So what I can do, let's see. We can, now this is our retrograde vector, this yellow, which is kind of has like an X in the center of it. And what I can do is just put a little bit of thrust in there and kind of hit the M key. We can even thrust up and down a little bit more because I definitely want to bring that down probably around to where the water is if I can. So what I'm doing is I'm actually, you can see I'm decreasing the orbit right now, which is doing exactly what I want it to do. I want to get it out into this water because as we start hitting the atmosphere, it's gonna shorten our trajectory, and I don't want to fall too short, and yet I don't want to go out into the water. So that should be pretty good right about there. And I don't want to like land in these mountains either, even though I don't know, maybe there's something cool down there. All right, so we are coming in. Still have plenty of fuel left. We could burn this fuel off, which I actually might do once I get over this mountain range. And let's see here, let me zoom in. Yeah, here's the mountains right here. Once I get over that, I can really start thrusting and and slow down. So we're down to 40,000 meters now, bringing or descending into the atmosphere of Kerbin, coming across this mountain range. Looking straight down. Yeah, right now would be a really bad time to jump out. All right, so I'm gonna just start thrusting. I'm just gonna thrust until my fuel's pretty much used up. That way we can, shallow or shorten our descent. Hopefully we can kind of get right into this area here somewhere. See if we have a crew report we can do. Hey, there we go. Crew report for the upper atmosphere. I wonder if there's a mystery goo. No, not this time. All right, so we're going to kind of come down right over there by that that mountain, kind of like right in there. And we can actually speed up. We can time accelerate. Here we can see we're not really going too terribly fast, so we're not seeing a lot of the reentry effects. But there are the reentry effects. Sometimes they're a lot more pronounced than this. Actually, it looks like we're going to fall a lot shorter. That's actually good. And what I want to try to do is I'm going to try to actually bring this whole stage down so that I can even do my little experiment there. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and deploy the chutes. Deploy chute. I'm going to turn my SAS off. Depending on my descent rate, though, it may or may not work well. I feel like I'm out in the Sahara Desert or something. I guess this is like the desert biome for Kerbin. I see some what look to be cacti. Oh my gosh. I must have left my Facebook open or something. I can hear all the Facebook sounds in the background. Okay, so 11.2 meters. Actually, I should be able to start thrusting right before we touch down, as long as I don't lose my shadow. Wherever it is. Okay, come on. I have to keep this open because otherwise I can't, I don't have any active control. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Okay, I'm always kind of nervous when the capsules fall over. Mystery goo. Oh, we got 3 more science. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and recover this. So I think we probably got, I don't know, 25 science maybe on this mission. Maybe more. Oh, 30 science. Okay, that's good. Let's see, how much did I have? Okay, so I've got 115 science. So I can actually go and get this fuel system here for the asparagus staging. Oh, 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 oh. You know what? I'm gonna get the solar panels first though, because what we can actually do in the next episode is we can start making, we can launch to the moon, do some passes over the moon, or even Minmus. We'll get a lot of science for going to Minmus, just going into orbit. So maybe we'll do that in the next episode. And I'll show you show you guys how to get out of orbit and into the orbit of other planets. All right, well, that'll be it for now. We'll come back and spend our science in the next episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Brad M73. Bye for now.